Hello. Tansei everyone. Bozu, Tanshi, Oki, and hello. Welcome to a wonderful, fabulous Tuesday. Although here in Malkinstis it's a little rainy and cold. I was in a classroom with no heat all day, so I'm like trying to just warm up. But I'm just really thankful and humbled to still be here, still be able to share in a good way. I'm excited for tomorrow. Because as everyone knows, tomorrow is National Indigenous Day. Always my busiest day of the year, but I'm really thankful that I get to go to so many different places and share with so many kiddos and adults as well. I get to share with adults as well. And it's just really beautiful to be able to share and to see how far we've come just in the last like 25 years. It's incredible. Like to go from not really being able to talk about the fact that you're Indigenous and just the amount of prejudice and hurt that there was, to being welcomed in and really honoring, our stories and our journey and our songs and the things that bring us together, to actually have active conversations about some of the injustices that have been happening in the past, but also to, acknowledge that we're working together to heal those wounds and create a better future together. And so, yeah, I think that's really, really important. That's part of it. But yeah, National Indigenous Day. Yeah. I remember like a decade ago, it was like National Indigenous Awareness Day. And now it's like, no, National Indigenous Day, we're celebrating it. So it's a good thing. And so to start today, before I dig into the teachings around solstice, I'm going to share with you the Cree Welcome Song and acknowledge the land upon which we stand, because I think it's important to acknowledge the land on which we stand, because if you don't know where you are, you're going to get lost. And I'm just really thankful to live where I live. So I am from Muskeg Lake Cree Nation, which is in Saskatchewan and Treaty 6 territory. I have never lived on reserve. I go and visit, and that is about the extension of that connection that I have, of course, my family, but I feel home here in Mulkinstis. I've lived here for a little over half my life, and there's just something really special about this place, and I always feel so welcome, and I always feel so connected, and the people here are amazing, and the community here is incredible. And I think it's really important that, we advocate for each other, and that's what I see. We have such a strong community of people advocating for each other. And so I just wanted to honor my sister Josie and say my heart and my prayers are with you. And I also just want to advocate for, all of our sisters that are on the front lines, all of our Two-Spirit people who are on the front lines, and all of the men that are standing strong behind us. I think that's such a beautiful gift. Here in Mulkinstis, that's literally what it means. It's elbow. It's our way to bring people together. It's a confluence. It's always brought people together for trade and for ceremony and to learn from each other and to grow together. And I think we need to have those conversations to be able to build bridges of understanding and connection. And so to honor the people that have come here before, I want to honor the Blackfoot, or the Nitsitapi, or Nitsitapi, depending on where you're from, of Siksika, Gaina, and Pagani. The Sarsi Dene of Tsuut'ina, the Beaver people, and the Stoney Nakoda of Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bears Paw, and Good Stoney First Nations. Some people are like, well, isn't it Wesley? I'm like, no, they've changed their name. It's Good Stoney. And it's important to acknowledge that and really honor the fact that they are reclaiming their spaces. I also want to acknowledge the Métis of Region 3, where I'm not wearing my Métis sash. I feel a little naked, but I will be wearing it all day tomorrow for sure. But to welcome everyone, I wanted to share the welcome song. Traditionally, when we sing songs, we sing in rounds of 4 to honor the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. But this song is a little bit different. We sing it in rounds of 3 to keep the circle open and welcoming, so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences. Again, because if we were exactly the same, the world would be super boring and nothing would ever get accomplished. So I think, well, thanks, Deb. It's important just to welcome everyone into the and acknowledge that, yeah, we might not agree 100%, but it's when we can connect and actually build those bridges and find compromise. That's when community happens. That's when, we can forge forward in a way. We have to recognize it's not, all or nothing. It's not black or white. It's not us versus them. We're in this together. We all live on the same Mother Earth, so we all have to work together to change things. And really, this song honors that. It honors bringing community together. It teaches us not to judge each other, not to compare ourselves to someone else, because when you compare yourself to someone else, you're diminishing your own light. You could never be them, but they could never be you. And so it's something to recognize that beauty and that gift that you are to the world. Mia Sin, it is from the Natahau family, and I'm very thankful to Joseph Natahau for sharing this song. And it's just really been instrumental in my journey, and I thank him for honoring the story of that song and sharing it with me, and being able to share it in a good way, because it's just such a gift. And it really has carved out my path. I don't feel right if I don't start with this song, because I feel like it does welcome in all of our ends. What it means welcome. And so I just wanted to honor and welcome everyone into the circle, including my ancestors and your ancestors and all our ancestors. And it also means beautiful. I'm gonna slide over. And this is Miyasin, the Cree welcome song. Miyasin, Miyasin, Hasemina, Hasemina, Ekpetakote, Niwagomagan, Hota, Homa, Kintaskino, Miasen, Miasen, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Niwagomagan, Hota, Homa, Kitaskino, Miasin, Miasin, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Niwagomagan, Hota, Homa, Kitaskino. Hi, and welcome to the circle today. And so I'm just really thankful and humbled to be here, and I'm thankful and humbled to be able to share some stories and some songs and some teachings. But I want to start in a good way today by smudging. And talking a little bit about the medicine wheel on a little bit of a deeper level. So usually I just talk a little bit about the medicines and kind of their energy, but I think what's important to know about the medicine wheel is it's not just one thing, it's everything, and it can mean a lot to different people. Depending on what nation you're from, you might have different directions and different teachings and like different areas, but it's not about right or wrong. It can be different, and your teachings might change throughout your life as well, but it's about acknowledging what you need on your path. But one of the overarching things is balance. You want to make sure that you're balancing everything around you. And so we have like the four medicines, but when we look at the medicine wheel, we have the four directions, the north, south, east, and west. We have the four elements. We have fire, earth, air, water. We also have the four times of the day. I already said morning, afternoon, evening, night. We have the four seasons: summer, spring, fall, winter. We also have the four parts of our being: our mind, our heart, our physical body, and then our spirit that kind of fuels the whole thing. And then we also have our times of our lives. So we have like our childhood, our adolescence, our adulthood, and then our elderly years. So when we look at the medicine wheel, it's really about those cycles. It's about honoring all of those cycles because they're part of us and we're part of them. It's recognizing that we're a microcosm as well as a macrocosm. Everything around us is all inclusive. And so when we look at the medicine wheel, where the medicines sit, it's going to differ from nation to nation. And even the way that we follow the medicine wheel might be different from nation to nation. And so I can only share what I know. But I want to acknowledge the medicines that I have laid out before I smudge. And so the first medicine that I have is sweetgrass. which I have to always steal from my cat because he's trying to eat it. But sweetgrass is that beautiful braided medicine. It's considered the men's medicine or masculine medicine because it's associated with grandfather son. And I think it's really important to understand that when we talk about male or female, it's not a versus thing, it's a balance thing. We're a balance of both. And we really need to acknowledge that balance within us and stop looking at everything as like, you know, a binary, because there's a flow to it. There's a back and forth. There's a flow. You might have like that morning versus that evening. There's a flow to it. It's not just stagnant. It's not like now it's day, now it's night. It's not one or the other. It's a flow. It's always cycling. And so when we look at the medicines as male or female, it's not male or female. It's masculine or feminine. Because sometimes if we need a little bit more masculine energy, we'll be drawn to the sweetgrass because it's about mental guidance, I can talk, and mental acuity. Whereas the female medicine, it's about, you know, honoring and healing and, you know, like your heart medicine, your emotions for sure. It's about healing that aspect. Whereas this is more about healing that aspect. And if you're overthinking things or you're studying, this is what you need. So mine are sweetgrass in the way that it's braided. Every section has 7 blades to honor the 7 generations behind us so that we make our ancestors proud, the 7 generations forward, so we leave in a good way for our future generations. And then our 7 teachings, which of course is courage, because we honor the bear with the courage. We have wisdom to honor the beaver. We have love to honor the eagle. We have the sabe, which teaches us honesty. The wolf that teaches us humility. We have the turtle that teaches us the truth. We also have the, oh, I was going to say the raven, but the raven's from a different story. So who else did I not talk about? Oh, the buffalo, of course, respect, because we got to respect the earth and the way that we walk upon it. And then we have, let's see, that's courage, love, humility, wisdom, respect, truth. Yeah, I think I got everything. Yeah, I probably forgot one, but I'm sure it'll come back. But yes, 7. 7's very important because that's all about our balance. And some people were like, well, why 7? Like, why 7 generations? So our entire being is like brand new after 7 generations. So we're totally a different person, but we're still connected to our ancestors. Even though those 7 generations, our physical being is totally different, and we're totally different DNA wise, we still have that connection to their spirit. And so, yeah, that is that's the sweetgrass in the east for our mind, for fire, and that is the springtime because that's when new life begins. That's when our childhood begins. That's new life. And I'm going to talk a little bit about cedar today, and just because it is it's cedar time. Stop. Cedar time. This is the summer medicine, but it's actually good in all seasons. It's fantastic. So the south is about connecting to the summer. It's about connecting to our physical body, our physical being. It's our adolescence because that's when we go through the most physical changes, but also it's our connection to, you know, the earth. It's remembering the relationship that we have with the earth. It's remembering the relationship that we have with our own being and our own body, and that connection that we need to stay healthy. We need that grounding. And in the summertime, it gives us those opportunities to go out into the world. Everything that we need is there. We have the berries, we have the food, we have the vegetables, we have, you know, fruit. We have all of the things to sustain us as long as we know how to honor them and take them in a good way by giving something back before we take. So it reminds us about that reciprocal relationship that we need to maintain with the earth, but also it gives us that moment to just connect to Mother Earth without worrying about survival. It's more connection, which is important. Cedar teaches us about that connection as well because she keeps us healthy. Cedar is amazing for everything. Anything that ails you. It's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. It has an antihistamine in it. It's great for like sore muscles or aching joints or pain like that. It's also really good for asthma. I breathe it in for my asthma all the time. Yeah, it's really good. It also cleans out your skin, which is really lovely. It's also really, really good for like allergies, psoriasis, eczema. You can grind it up with some bear grease. Not a lot of people have bear grease. I do. And then you can just put it on, or you can, you know, simmer it with some like coconut oil and put that on, or you can just throw it in your bath and just soak in it for a bit. Like steep yourself like a tea. It's great. But cedar grows on the east and west coast, and it's always green. So it reminds us of always honoring our body. The next medicine would have sage, and I only smudge it with sage usually. And so sage being the women's medicine, we can use it at any time. Anyone can use it at any time because sage is a water medicine. It's connected to water. It's connected to flow. It's connected to you know, healing through the water. It filters and purifies water, which is awesome. And this is buffalo sage, sometimes called buffalo grass, and it's almost ready to be picked. So I'm excited to actually hopefully lead a sage picking in the coming few weeks. We'll see how it goes, but I'm just gonna roll that up. Yeah, sage is really about honoring our emotions and letting our tears flow because tears are healing. And it grows everywhere. Awesome. And sage is that connection to the fall because everything that's grown to fruition over the summer, and we get to harvest it in the fall. So it's about sometimes sacrifice, but sacrifice is unconditional love. And so Mother Earth knows that if she gives this to us, then we will return the favor by cultivating the following year, and hopefully cultivating the following year, but honoring those plants and those animals in a good way. And then the next one is tobacco. We also have that. So tobacco is that connection to spirit, it's connection to the air, it's connection to the winter, because in the winter it's the only time we can see our breath. But it's our connection to stillness and spirit, and a reminder that sometimes we need to just decompress before we grow forward again. And to remind us of those cycles, I think, is so important, especially this time of the year, because it is summer solstice. Summer solstice is our way to look back at what's happened since the last solstice, so since the winter. What are those seeds that you have been planting? What are those things that you've been cultivating? What are those things that you have been, working on? And are they starting to grow? Are they starting to come to fruition? So what we see over the next 6 months going into, as we start to lose the light, is all of those things that we have planted. They've been growing and growing and growing, and now they're starting to really harvest. They're starting to get ready to harvest. Around the equinoxes when they're harvestable sort of thing. But it's really just about looking back and recognizing, hey, look at all the work that we've done. Look at all the things that you've gone through. You're still here. Looking about at like all of the gifts that you've had, and don't look back at all the negative things, but actually looking at all the positive things that have happened, because it's those positive things that are going to grow, that you want to grow, and you want to weed the garden, right? Unless the weeds are healthy. I had a conversation about healthy weeds today with kids about the dandelion and how essential it is for life. It's fantastic for pollinators. The flowers are actually really high in vitamin C, so you can actually eat them. I had dandelion wine and dandelion tea before, and it's got a really cool like sweetness, almost like citrusy taste to it, which is pretty cool. We can use the stems for like burns or bug bites, which is really cool. We can use the leaves, and they're actually healthier than kale, which is pretty cool. They're like jam-packed with vitamins and minerals, and even the roots are really good for us. They're really amazing for just like boosting our immune system. They're fantastic. They're probably useful for a lot of different things. I gotta read my book, but yeah, they're amazing. And so even though it's considered a weed, it's helpful. It's not a noxious weed. It's something that is helpful. And so you gotta look at why things grow, where they grow, and how we can use them in a good way. Although, yeah, sometimes they get out of hand. My backyard is like out of hand. So I don't have much of a backyard, but it's just all dandelions, which my guinea pigs love. So yeah, back on track with that whole summer solstice. Summer solstice, you need to reflect, and whatever things didn't cultivate or percolate, it's really about reframing those things and seeing how to do it better over the next few months, so that you can help those things along to grow. I say that myself. So I had been working on an album, I recorded it, but it's not completed. I was hoping to have it completed by tomorrow, but there's like a lot of editing. It's a lot of a longer process than I thought. In fact, there's a couple songs that we probably need to re-record, but again, it's all about those things that we cultivated, and sometimes having to revisit those things, and that's important. But yeah, I'm gonna smudge. And just to honor our journey, and I'm gonna also say a little bit of a prayer for the summer solstice and how it can guide us in a good way. So it's illuminating and shedding light upon everything, that has happened over the last 6 months, but also giving us a little guidance, a little push moving forward. So all 4 directions are in the smudge bowl. The bowl itself represents water. It is a shell. When we put the medicine in the bowl, no matter what the medicine is, as soon as it goes in the bowl, it represents earth because it grows from the earth. When we let it on fire, it represents fire. And then the smoke represents air because it goes up to the air, up to creator. First thing I like to do is just clean my hands. Ooh, I almost forgot. I'm actually wearing metal today. I haven't worn metal in a long time, just because I kind of react to it, but I just got new earrings and I really wanted to rock them. Oops. If I can take them off. It doesn't want to come off. Awesome. So we always take off metal because metal holds energy and it holds intention. So we don't want to hold onto things that we might not want. So I'm just taking all of the metal off. Oop. Awesome. This is a lovely new thing I have because I wanted to rock the orange. Awesome. Now that I'm metal free, now I can smudge. I clean my hands, so anything that I'm carrying I get rid of. Bring it over my body 4 times to honor the 4 directions in my body. I smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path. So I can remember to be open-minded and never rigid with my thinking. So I can think good thoughts and help me guide myself on my way with mental clarity. That's important. Smudge my ears so I can hear all of the messages that Creator sends me. So I can remember to listen twice as much as I speak. So I can be open to hear everything's voice, the voices of nature and each other, but also so I can hear good things. I smudge my eyes so I can see all of the beauty that surrounds me. So I can see the beauty in everything and every person that crosses my path, but also so I can remind myself to look deeper and see the unseen. I smudge my nose so I smell danger and nature and cookies. I smudge my mouth so I speak good and true words. I always ask myself, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? If it's none of those things, don't say it, don't do it. It's that reminder. Smudge my throat because I'm very thankful for my voice this time, so I can continue to give voice to the voiceless, to honor all of the voices around me, and also to remember to find my own voice and elevate it. I smudge my lungs so I breathe good, clean air to honor that sacred breath that we all share with the plants, with the animals, with each other, and with our ancestors. We're breathing that same air as our ancestors, and our future generations will be breathing as well. This is why we need to honor it. Keep it healthy. I'm going to honor my heart, smudge my heart, so I remain kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all those around me, to my family, my friends, myself, and all my relations. That's everything and everyone around us. And I smudge my stomach so all of the food that I ate this day will nourish my body in a good way and keep me healthy and strong. Smudge my stomach so all of the food that I eat this day will nourish my body. Smudge my belly button. And so that's where we're connected before we come into this world. So that's where our spirit speaks through us and to us. So I hope to hear my spirit more clearly and trust it a lot more. I'm going to smudge my womanhood. I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother in this time, even though I'm a two-spirit woman and I carry both that masculine and feminine energy within me. It reminds me of that balance and the gift that I have. I'm going to smudge my shoulders and my back so I can carry all of my responsibilities with grace and humility, but also with deep respect for everything around me and with courage on this path. I smudge my arms so that I do what just put me here to do. I smudge my legs, so I walk this red road in a good way. And so that's that path of Aboriginal spirituality, but also so I can find my path clearly, so I don't trip. And so I persevere and show great courage and respect along my path as well. So I show humility along my path. And then I smudge my feet, so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, honoring her with every step, and walking lightly upon her. And if there's anywhere else in your body you need a little extra love, so still having some issues from that car accident, so I'm going to keep smudging those areas. We're still having hip issues. That hasn't stopped. And me. And then if there's anyone in your that you want to send love to, some healing to, you hold them in your heart. And you just send them that love, that healing, that compassion. Maybe somebody you just miss, you can send that love to them as well. If you need to heal your heart or your mind, you heal that as well. Just give that little extra. And then when you're all done, you just say thank you in your language, which my language might be hi hi, or merci, or shia shia. No, that's not my language. Or miigwech, which is really important. And so now I'm going to put my earrings back in. Aw, love you, Steph. I miss you. So, there's a lot going on here in Calgary, and I wanted to sing the Strong Woman song today. Just to honor Josie and to honor our sisters that are, standing with her. I think it's really important that we honor and stand beside each other. We've all done so much work on the ground here that it's important to just continue doing it. Even if we might not get recognized right away for the work that we do, you don't realize how many people in community recognize the work that you do. And so I just really love and appreciate Josie and all the work that she has done and she continues to do for our community. And this is why I think we need to stand in solidarity and really honor her. And so, yeah, this is the Strong Woman song. And I also dedicate it to my sisters that have gone through so much. My sister Steph, Sandra, and the other women that, two spirit people that need strength. They need that, to know that our community is together. I was going to use my drum today, but my drum is really flat because it is very rainy outside. And so I'm going to use this drum, which is really pretty. It's very, very pretty. Some people ask why I rub my drum, and I do that because it actually warms up the drum if it's cold. If it's wet, it dries it off a bit. If it's dirty, you can wipe off dirt, but also we have oils in our skin, and as we touch the drum, it actually just transfers a little bit of that oil to the drum. And so if you're touching it every single day, the drums will not dry out over time. So I have drums that are 15 years old because I touch them every single day and I honor them every single day. And so that they don't dry out because you're honoring the relationship that you have with them. So you need to do that. So if you're like, why is my drum drying out? Touch it every day. That'll keep it. Or call me, I have a little bit of bear grease, just saying. Okay, so this is the Strong Woman song. All right, I forgot to say what it is. It is also known as the turtle song because the turtle has 13 bumps on its back to represent the 13 moons in a year, and 28 ridges along the outside to represent the 28 ridges to represent the 28 days in a moon cycle, because we as women, we cycle in 28 days. And so every time we look up at the moon, it's that reminder of the sacredness that we have. This is why it's Grandmother Moon, because it's why it's Mother Earth, because she nurtures and gives birth to so much new life so that we can sustain ourselves. And so it's really about honoring that sacred feminine and that sacred healing and gift of life that our mothers and grandmothers and aunties and our future generations, what they can possess, but also not just to give birth. Like there's more than that. It's that cycle of rejuvenation. We had lodges where we would bleed into the ground, and that land would become more fertile, and so that's where we would plant and cultivate for the following season, and that would grow exponentially. And so it reminds us that we are all connected. We have those cycles for a purpose, for a reason, and never to diminish that. So this is why it naturally became the Strong Woman song, because it's about honoring ourselves, but honoring the community, because women bring the community together. This is the Strong Woman song. Yeah. Oh, sorry about your connection, Simone. The next song I'm going to share, I think it's important for what we're going through now in Mulkinstess, to sing the Women's Warrior song, because we are all warriors and we need to honor each other, to really raise each other up, because that's what's important. I wish I could be there with everyone, and I'm sorry, but this is my busiest time of the year, so I'm completely booked, but I'm still advocating from the from the behind the scenes, whenever I'm able. I'm just kind of trying to connect things. So, yeah, no glitch. And yeah, this is the Women's Warrior song, which is a Salish song, which came out during AIM, the American Indian Movement, but it also has been used multiple times to honor our sisters that have gone missing in BC and the East Hastings area and beyond, along the Highway of Tears, but really just to honor all of our kin that have gone missing or have been murdered. And so this is the Women's Warrior song. I'm going to, actually I think I'm going to tell a story. The story I want to share is the Raven story, because I haven't shared a Raven story in a while. And the Raven, he teaches us a little bit about humility, but he teaches us other things as well. And so, a long time ago, as most of our stories usually start, all of the animals were looking for their purpose, and all of the animals found it pretty easy. Some of them found it a little bit more easy than others. The pollinators started pollinating. They're like, this is fantastic. I'm really good at this. I'm going to continue to bring the world to life. And so they found their path very easily. The cleaners, they got to cleaning, and they were like, oh, this is really easy. This is a way to sustain ourselves and a job that nobody wanted. So of course it made sense that they found their path as cleaners. Then the beaver found a path. She was cutting down trees. That was her jam. The woodpecker was like, oh, if my head is awesome, I could just like poke right into a tree and grab some snacks. And so he found his purpose was not only to feed himself, but also to help trees in the process. So all of the animals were finding their purpose, were finding their passion, were finding the things that they were really good at and that made them unique and special. But the one animal that was having a really hard time was the raven. So the raven had these beautiful rainbow feathers. So no matter which way you looked at him, he looked like a shimmering, shining color of the rainbow. And because of this, as he was trying to look around for his purpose, he was having a really hard time. He was looking at it like a physical thing. And so he was looking under rocks and he didn't see anything. He looked at the top of trees and he didn't find his purpose. He started looking, at the top of mountains and he wasn't finding his purpose. And so he's like, well, what if I don't have a purpose? What if I'm not special? What if I do nothing? What if I'm useless? Oh my gosh, what if I'm not special at all? And as he was walking, sulking, feeling not special, he looked down and he caught his reflection in a puddle and he thought, I am gorgeous. And then he kept walking, and then he saw himself in a stream and he thought, I am fabulous. And he kept walking, and then he saw himself in a pond and he thought, I am magnificent. And then he kept walking, and then he saw himself in a stream and he thought, I am the most beautiful, fabulous, gorgeous, magnificent creature in the world. I must be the best animal ever. And so he started walking around, telling all of the animals that he was the best. And so he said, hey friends, have you seen my feathers? I am the best animal ever. And all of the animals said, well, no, Raven. We all have different things that we're really good at, different things that we do to help the world grow, different things that, we do to make the world a better place, and different things that we get to share with the two-leggeds when they arrive. Because that's so exciting. Because the animals, well, they were meant to find their purpose so they could teach us how to do different things on the earth. Because, of course, Jack kind of messed it up the first time around. But that's another story for another time. And so the Raven said, are you kidding me, friends? I mean, look at me. I have beautiful rainbow feathers. I can fly, and I'm really, really clever. Obviously, I'm the best animal ever. And so all of the animals thought, well, what if the Raven was right? What if he was the best animal ever? What if they weren't special at all? And so they stopped doing what made them amazing. The pollinators stopped pollinating and the whole world started to die. The cleaners stopped cleaning and all of the world was just a hot mess. The beaver stopped cutting down trees, stopped redirecting the river, and her teeth, they just kept growing and growing and growing, and they were out of hand. And all of the animals were feeling really, really sad and stopped doing what made them amazing. And so when the bear woke up and looked around, he said, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second, what is going on here? Why isn't anybody doing what makes them amazing? I should go investigate. And so he went to figure out what was happening. And he went to the smartest animal, or the wisest animal that he knows, which is the beaver. Everybody always goes to the beaver for advice. And he said, Beaver, what is happening here? Why isn't anybody doing what makes them amazing? Why is the whole world falling apart? And why does everybody look really sad and bored? And then the beaver turned around and, like I said, her teeth had grown and grown and grown. And the bear said, whoa, Beaver, what happened to your teeth? And the beaver said, well, Bear, I stopped cutting down trees, and my teeth, they just kept growing and growing and growing, and now they're out of hand, and there's no such thing as a dentist, because the two-leggeds aren't here yet. And the bear said, well, that's ridiculous. Why did you stop cutting down trees, Beaver? You love cutting down trees. And the beaver said, I do love cutting down trees. Why did I stop? Oh, because of the raven. The raven made me feel bad. He made me feel like I wasn't special and that I should just stop trying because I could never be as special as him. The bear said, that's ridiculous. You're special in your own way. What did he say to you? And she said, well, he said that he was the best. And so, because he was the best and better than anybody else, nobody should even try. And the bear said, that's ridiculous. There's no greater or less than. We're all amazing in our own way, and we're all important in our own way. Beaver, when you cut down trees, well, not only do you love it, but you make a beautiful home, and you leave room for other trees to grow. Not only that, but as you build your beautiful home, look downstream, Beaver. We don't have anything to back up the river, so that the river's flowing too quickly, and all of your little friends that rely on you to drink water from the fresh river, well, they can't drink without getting swept away. You are valuable, you're needed, and you are special in your own way. And the beaver looked downstream and she saw all of her little friends and she said, oh no, my friends, they're so thirsty. Oh, Bear, you're right. I gotta get back to doing what I love to do because it's important. Thanks, Bear, for making me feel better. But, Bear, can you please go talk to the raven? Because he's making everybody feel bad. And the bear said, okay, I will go find the raven and I will talk to him. But as the bear was looking for the raven, he kept passing all of the animals and critters that the raven had made feel bad. He passed the pollinators and he made sure that they felt special and important, and they got back to doing what made them amazing, pollinating. And the bees got back to making honey, and all was well in the world. And as the bear kept walking along, he saw the cleaners, and he made sure that they felt important, that they made sure that their job, even though it was a little weird, especially the dung beetle, he said, it's important because without you, the world would be just such a dirty place. You make it so much more beautiful, and that is a gift. And all of the beautiful cleaners said, thank you, Bear. They felt special, and they got back to doing what they love to do. And as they continued to go, he made sure that everybody felt important and amazing and special in their own way. So by the time the bear got back to the raven, all was well in the world, and all of the animals were feeling a little bit better about themselves and special again. But the raven was sitting there looking at himself in a puddle. And the bear said, Raven, what are you doing? And the raven said, well, I'm just basking in the glory of what is me, the best animal ever. And the bear said, Raven, you're not the best animal ever. There's no such thing as the best animal ever. Yes, you're very beautiful, but that doesn't make you better than anyone else. We're all amazing. We all do things in our own way. We have different things that we get to share with the two-leggeds when they arrive, different things that we get to teach them, different things that we do to make the world a better place. Each and every one of us has a role to play. We all have different talents and gifts, so we're not greater or less than anyone else. We're just different. And the raven said, whatever, Bear. You keep telling yourself that, but obviously I'm the best animal ever. I mean, have you seen me? I have beautiful rainbow feathers. I am very clever. And I can fly. So obviously I'm the best animal ever. And no other animal should even try. And the bear said, that's ridiculous. And no, you're not. And the raven said, I mean, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. The bear said, no, you're not. The raven said, yes, I am. The bear said, no, you're not. The raven said, yes, I am. The bear said, no, you're not. The raven said, yes, I am. The bear said, fine. If you're the best animal ever, you have to prove it. And the raven said, yeah, of course I'm the best animal ever, and I can definitely prove it. What do I need to do? And the bear said, all right, only the best animal ever could catch the sun. Can any animal catch the sun? No. But the raven, who wasn't thinking, said, of course I could catch the sun. I am the best animal ever. So without thinking, he started to fly higher and higher and higher towards the sun. And as he got higher, it's a little warm towards the sun, but he was determined to prove that he was the best. So he flew higher and higher, and his feathers started smoking. Well, that was a little awkward, but he was determined to prove that he was the best. So he flew higher and higher and higher and higher until his feathers burst into flames, and he screamed, "Ah! Ah! I'm on fire!" And he tried to put out the flames. on fire! I'm on fire! I'm on fire! And he lost control. I'm on fire! He crashed into the ocean. And as he swam to the shore and pulled himself out, he looked down. And his feathers, they weren't rainbow anymore. They were completely burned, totally singed, and oh, he was mad. How could the bear play such a mean trick on him? So he started marching angrily over to the bear. Well, he's a bird, so he started hopping angrily over to the bear. And as he was hopping along his path, he started to pass all of the animals that he had made feel bad. He passed the pollinators, and he watched as it went from plant to plant to plant to plant and made everything grow. He thought, wow, I could never do that. That's actually pretty amazing, and it's really special. He looked down at his own feathers, and he didn't feel special at all anymore. He thought, oh, I made my friends feel so bad. I feel bad. I better apologize. And so he went and he said to his friends, friends, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't see how amazing you were and how special you were in your own way. Look at how incredible you are. And look at how the bee is making honey. And look at how you're making plants grow. And I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry I didn't see how amazing you were. I feel really bad. You're beautiful. And they said, oh, thanks, Raven, and thanks for apologizing. And so he continued on his path. And then he saw the cleaners. He watched as they were cleaning up the earth. He watched as the dung beetle was taking something away that nobody else wanted. And he thought, wow, that's really weird, but kind of cool. Because he's cleaning up the earth. He's touching something that nobody else wants to touch. And that makes the earth a better place. He's cleaning, and then he watched as the ants worked together, and he thought, wow, they're cleaning up the earth and they're going to teach the two-leggeds all about cooperation? Oh, that's amazing. Then he looked again at his own feathers, and he didn't feel special at all anymore. And he knew he had to apologize. And so he said, friends, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't see how special and important your jobs were. And I'm sorry that I said I was better than you. I was a bully, and I feel bad, and I'm sorry. And they said, well, Raven, thank you for seeing us, and thank you for apologizing. We're going to get back to work. You should probably go to apologize to everyone else, too. And the Raven agreed. So as he was walking around, he was apologizing to all of the animals he made feel bad. Then he came across the beaver, and he watched as the beaver was cutting down a beautiful tree, and he thought, wow, her teeth are magnificent. And then he watched as she pulled the tree and made a beautiful home, and he thought, wow, her home is pretty amazing. But then he looked downstream, and holy, it was so special. She was backing up the river just enough that it was still, and little animals could come drink some fresh water. He thought, wow, Beaver, that is so kind. You are not only making an amazing home, but you're giving a chance for those little animals to drink. Beaver, I'm sorry I said that you weren't special. I didn't see you, and now I see you. And I'm sorry for being such a bully. And the beaver said, well, thank you for apologizing, Raven, and thank you for seeing me. But you should probably go talk to the bear. And so off the raven went. After he finished apologizing to everyone, he saw the bear. And he said, Bear, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I was mean to everyone, and that I said that I was better than everybody. And I'm sorry I was a bully, and I didn't see everybody for who they were. But Bear, look at me. I'm not special at all anymore. And the bear said, no, Raven, you're really special. And the raven said, I am? And the bear said, yes, you learned. And the raven said, I did. And the bear said, yeah, you learned about humility. And the raven said, humility? That's a weird word. What does that even mean? And the bear explained, well, humility is knowing that you're not greater or less than anyone else. It's knowing that everybody has their own role to play. Everybody has their own gifts and talents. It's not about comparing yourself to someone else, but it's really about raising each other up. And humility, Raven, is not taking yourself so seriously. Because if you weren't taking yourself so seriously, well, you know better. And the raven said, you're right, Bear. I did know better. And actually, that was a pretty good trick that you played. Trick. Hey, Bear. And the bear said, Uh-oh. Yeah, Raven. That, do you think I could play tricks on everyone to teach them about humility? And the bear said, yeah, I suppose you could. And Raven, for the first time, he got his voice. He started to laugh. You're right, Bear. I'm going to teach everyone about humility by playing tricks on them. And so from that day forward, in all of our stories, the raven became the trickster. But still to this day, if you look at a raven's feather, it has a little shimmer of rainbow to remind him to stay humble. And that is the raven story. And so, now I'm going to play the raven song. Boop, boop, boop. I was like, where did I throw my drum? There's where I threw my drum. Awesome. And the raven song is a Cherokee and a Cree song. I learned it from my cousin. He lives, where does he live now? I don't know. He lives in the States somewhere. I have to touch base with him and figure out where he moved to because I know he was in the process of moving. But his dad was Cherokee, his mom was Cree, and she just happened to be from our reserve. And we're like third cousins in a weird way. But when I heard this song online, I reached out to him because I knew it. And I was like, how come I know this song? And then we started talking. And yeah, we're cousins. So he's like, that's our family song. So yeah, go ahead and share it. And so yeah, this is the Raven song. In it, we sing together. In it, we let out our happy sound. And in it, there's a call and response piece. And so this is the Raven song. Oh, we sing it in rounds of 4. By the third time, though, you're going to hear boom as the raven falls out of the sky. So. And then we're going to get higher with last verse. I'm going to finish here because we don't have much time. We have time for another song, but I'm going to sing the Journey song just to lead us through into the next moon. Into the next moon, into the next sun, to the next sun cycle. So to honor the solstice tomorrow, this is our journey through the sun, and then back again. So it reminds us that everything is cyclical, and so we always have opportunities to change what's happened. We always, well, not by like going back in time, but we have different things to learn from those mistakes so we don't make them again, hopefully, fingers crossed. But this is really just to honor our journey together, to remind us that we might not see that family for a while, but then when we come back, it's always about reconnecting. We have friends like that where we don't see them for 10 years, and then when we see them, we just pick right back up again. And that's part of our journey as well. It's recognizing that you just let the journey unfold in front of you. You don't force things, because if you force things, then nothing's going to work out the way that you would have hoped. But it's just really about honoring that journey and letting it unfold. Everything happens for a reason. And so this is the journey song, really about connecting to community and that journey that we share together, to walk beside people sometimes to recognize that you have to forge that path alone. So this is the journey song. Sakahito into your family. Sakahito into your friends. Sakahito into your journey until we meet again. Well, hey, way, hey, oh. Well, hey, way, oh. Well, hey, way, hey, oh. Well, hey, oh. Sakahito into their family. Sakahito into their friends. Sakahito into their journey until we meet again. Well, hey, way, hey, oh. Well, hey, So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm just really thankful and humbled to be able to share in a good way. And I'm excited for tomorrow. So it is solstice, um, which is awesome. And it is also National Indigenous Day. So happy National Indigenous Day. I'm glad we're finally at this point after so many people standing and advocating and doing what we've been doing for the last, however many years. To finally have that recognition is important. I'm not saying that everything's fixed. I'm definitely saying there's a lot further to go because it took us, 250 years to get here, so it's going to take us 250 years to get back. But at least we're on our way. We're on the upswing. And so, Miigwech, everyone. Hi, thank you. And please honor. There's so many events happening. Definitely Google if you can come and support an event, whether that be a walk in the morning for National Indigenous Day to honor, the rising of the sun, or walk in the evening to honor the setting of the sun. I know I will be honoring the setting of the sun. So, yeah, because I think I'm going to be driving when the sun rises. So, yay me! But, Tansei, and just Miigwech and hi and Marcy, and thank you so much. I'm just so humbled and grateful to be where I am and where we are together, and to our journey together moving forward. Happy solstice. May you lay that good foundation for the year ahead, and I will see you next week. Miigwech, everyone. Good night.